Hello.
Well, hello, everybody. It's Aley from Heart and Soul Connected, and Andrea is my guest today from Lilac Lantern.
Hello.
Hey, welcome, Arvita Dragonfly and Book Bewitched. Glad you're here. So always so happy to see people coming to be with us today.
Thank you for having me today, Aley.
Oh, you're welcome. Andrea is beaming in from Alberta. No, not Alberta, from Ontario, right? Is that right?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm here in Washington State, and we make it work. So
it's amazing how the world is, isn't it? We can all connect.
World's very small now, and it's so nice. Yeah, absolutely. So if you caught our discussion that we had last week, where Andrea talked to me and we talked about creative flow, and oh, good, Marvita, you're in California, not far from us then. Good. We talked about creative flow, and after we were done, I asked Andrea, would she come back and be on my channel? And she will connect to her own channel as well. And eventually, once she gets the download, and we're sharing and caring here.
That's right.
We're going with the flow. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So, Andrea, I want to talk today about tarot, because you're the tarot lady. And I want to talk also about how different people read tarot, or how they come to read tarot, or how they choose their cards, things like that. Mm-hmm. So I first would like to say that your readings of tarot, you mentioned last week, are more what I would call intuitive tarot. Would that be what you call it? Yeah. Okay. So tell us a little bit about how that works for you.
So first, I just want to say this is Aley's first StreamYard.
Yes, it
StreamYard is what you use to go live on YouTube when you're two separate people, right? So you've got across the bottom of the screen. Do you see it?
Yes. I'm supposed to take that off. How do I get it off?
You just need to see on the right where the comments are.
Yes.
You just scroll up and you click on the one that you touched.
All right. I got to get off a brand first.
I think
my apologies. I don't know why this won't let me move it. Oh, comments. Okay. Yeah. So I have to click back on the comment.
Just click on the comment. Yeah.
All right.
There we go.
So sorry. Thank you. It's a training in session.
Exactly. It's fun.
Yes.
So intuitive card reading.
Yeah.
Yes. So there's the traditional way of reading cards, which is where you go by the book. If I had a book, I'd show you. But you guys know what a book looks like in the tarot decks. It explains the card, the image, and what it means. Now, I've never done that. And it's not an insult to that. I don't mean to disrespect it at all. That is not my...
No, and I don't think you are.
Yeah. And I'm not disrespecting anybody who does go by the book. Okay? Mm-hmm. I just want to make that clear. It's how I read, and it's how I get my messages. So I'm very picture-based. Mm-hmm. The images that show up in the cards say something to me. Okay? Yeah. Not just the word below. Ooh. That's not a traditional card, but let's pull a traditional. So that's technically the Lover's card in a traditional tarot deck. When I look at it, I might just be drawn to one thing. It could be the snake in the tree. It could be the angel. It could be the sun. It could be the color of his hair. It could just be something speaking to me. Mm-hmm. Also, I'm paying attention to other things. What are my physical senses? My feet hot. Do I have a ringing in my ear? Is there, am I sweating, or do I feel nauseous? Like I can get other signs, not just what the card says. Hi, everybody. Look, everybody's here.
I know. I'm so glad you're all here. Yes.
Awesome.
It is. It's great.
So, intuitive reading is letting go of fitting in a box and the pressure to understand what a card says based on what the book says, right?
Yes.
It's letting your mind go, no rules. And what do you see in the image? What do the cards that you've laid out, what is the story they're telling you? I get stories. I think that's how I look at them, and each card or each row of cards almost becomes like a sentence in a book or a paragraph or a chapter.
It fits together. Okay.
Together. Yeah. Like that. Yeah. It's like, deciphering hieroglyphics, right? Yeah. It's this language you don't know, but if you look at it long enough, you just all of a sudden understand the story that the cards are telling. So I would say I get a story. And that's because I let myself. I don't force the narrative. At least you try not to. You don't
to meet your expectations. Yeah.
So you don't force the narrative. You're not controlling the outcome. And it's okay if you don't get it right away, because you can just look at it again. Maybe one card doesn't make sense. And you just step back and you look at it again, and eventually you see the story if you just stay open.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't want to move too quick, but is that when you pull out and use the clarity cards that you particularly use? Okay. And so if there's something that seems a little, you're not 100% sure, then you turn to those clarity cards to get a little bit more.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll see me, I'll throw a couple more cards on top of, I'll ask a question and throw some more cards. Yeah. And that's just to help me understand, because sometimes it's okay if you don't understand, right? You're trying to decipher a completely different language on a topic you've never read on before. Like when I read on someone, I don't know anything about you, right? It's a brand person to me when I'm reading. It's not like I've known you my whole life when I do readings for people.
Sure.
So if I see a story and I just need to clarify a bit, I put a couple cards down, right? Because I'm deciphering something I don't know. It's not like I'm reading on myself and I know all the answers.
Right, of course. But do you find that sometimes if you do pulling a reading for yourself, that it's harder to get that clarity because you have that bias in there at all? Does that ever happen?
To be honest, I don't really ever read on myself.
Okay.
Very rarely. And if I do, it's sort of a very loose question that's not too close to me. Like I asked if I was going to get the job or not, right?
Yeah, I was wondering about the job, yeah.
And I got luck is on your side.
Okay.
Card I got. And I was like, okay. And this can go two ways. I get it. Then luck's on my side. And also if I don't get it, luck is on my side.
Maybe something better. Right.
It is, because either way I win.
You win. Yeah, that's awesome. That's really great.
I don't really read on family either, because that subject I'm too close.
Well, yeah, I would imagine so. Yeah, I would imagine.
But I got a blue or a red card, I could read on that. But anything else would probably just be too close. Like I would get my emotions in the way.
Yeah. Well, you know your limitations then. That's really awesome. Really.
And also, well, some things I don't want to know.
Well, I don't blame you. And there's some things we're not supposed to know.
Exactly.
Well, that kind of segues into this next riffing it question, which is when you're reading for now and the possibility of what might happen in the now, with the idea that it may not happen because you don't know the future yet. You only can do it by what is now. Does that sound right?
Yeah, you can see the trajectory.
Okay.
But there's it can always pivot. I can also, and again, it's so hard to explain sometimes, but sometimes I get the whole story. I can see the past in the card. I see the now, and I see what's to come. That could come, right?
If you're still on the same path, if you stay on that path. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I remember somebody telling me, if I tell you that you're going to be thrown off a horse, you have the opportunity not to get on one, But okay.
Yeah.
That's well, I have played with cards probably for 20 years. I don't read them really for anybody. I have some fun with them, but I made the mistake, I think, of trying to learn the book and trying to learn what everything means. And since they started making cards that are a little less I don't know, like these sacred traveler cards that I got. Denise Lynn did them, I believe, and they have some nice messages on them. But they're like a story, like you explained when you were saying how. And I think that's what you do when you make your when you made your clarity cards and you laid all of those cards out. Did it take you a long time to come up with the symbol of what they were supposed to mean for you, or you just intuitively?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the strangest thing because I never thought I was going to make my own deck of cards. That never entered my mind. Yeah. And I was getting a download. That's all I can say. I was being told to make them, and it was in my head. I could start seeing them, right? And then I was getting a headache because I didn't start drawing them. And I was getting bad headaches every day. And I thought,
okay, telling you better do it, and you're not going to.
It was like, like this deck of cards needs to be made. And I thought, this is crazy. But I ordered a blank deck of cards and some markers. And the first one I made was the blue one, which is your throat chakra. I didn't think of it then, but
communication.
I understand now that that's why this was the first one. It was, sort of the voice I was hearing, and then now the cards are my voice. Right. It's a combination. So then I made all the chakra color cards, and then everything else came out. There's no other way to say it, but I just saw them and made them. And I'm just so happy people are resonating with them.
There were two things that I had started to look into a number of years ago, and one of them was, I think they're called soul something cards, and you make them, but you go collage, soul collage it was called. And they give you cards and you use images. With me, I was collaging. So I was on newspapers and other things and making them. I haven't got them all made yet, but I have some made. And then when I started watching your show and I saw how you did that, I had some of those blank tarot cards like you had. And I thought, ooh, and I was, yes, no, maybe, this, that, everything. And although I'm not as clear on mine as you are with yours, but I know that's sort of your avocation. You spend a lot of time doing it. So I'm sure. And I think it's a riot that, the orange chakra happens to be the orange man when he comes up.
I think I might, once he's out of office, I might shift him over to the brown card. He might start being the brown card.
The shit show card.
For those in the chat who said they like my deck of cards, it's really amazing what can happen when you listen.
Yes.
And you do, and you don't get in your own way. Like I could have talked myself out of not making those cards. And the funny thing is that I've been procrastinating about, not procrastinating, but just I haven't been full force trying to get them produced, and I couldn't figure out the why.
Right.
And the other day, a new card came into my head, and I realized the deck's not done yet.
Yep.
There's at least 2 more I need to draw, which I could do this weekend. Yeah. And then I'm going to let the cards tell me when it's ready to put them to print.
There you go. There you go. And, so, but would you encourage other people to maybe make their own as well?
Absolutely. Yeah. That's what I mean by getting out of the box. Don't make any rules, right? It's really hard for some people to let go and just do. But my goodness, make your own cards or your own, whatever you want to use, stones, get some stones and write something on it. And maybe that's how you get messages, right?
Right.
It's whatever the tool is for you, because we're all different.
Right. Absolutely.
And, I get dreams. I can read tarot. I used to read palms for many.
Wonderful. Here, try this. I'm kidding.
Everyone has their, and I get like flashes of light when something's really, connecting, and I can't explain, but everyone has their own toolbox.
Absolutely.
So don't think that you have to fit into someone else's.
Right. And we talked about that last week about flow. So, I mean, that's another reason why I really, and I think a lot of other people have said here that they have resonated as well with the way you read cards, because it is out of the box, but it makes so much sense. So it makes us feel like, oh, this is really a comfortable reading. And I want to tell you that, and I have told you, but sometimes I'll watch some other people, and the messages are so similar, even though the cards are so different. It's just interesting to see that, because you wonder if other people would be getting that same kind of message, just in a different way. So,
and isn't it interesting that all of the different readers often gets the same messages in the cards?
Yes.
Separate readers, right? Doing
Yes.
it their own way, whether it's traditional or you make your own cards, or you read dice, or whatever the heck it is you read.
Right. Right. Yeah.
So you really have to think about, like, that's anyone who doesn't believe in this kind of thing. I mean, you really got to think about that. How do we all get the same answer?
I know. That's very true.
There's something going on, right? There's really something going on.
There seems also, well, of course, we're going through our revolution, so to speak, with our fifth dimension, and everybody moving in with their gifts and doing their work. And not everybody has the same gifts, but they all come from the same source in some ways,
Yeah.
So it's wonderful to see and how other people use it. This week I ended up getting some cards. They're called they're I don't know if you could see it, but it's supposed to be a gemstone.
Nice.
And like this one's cinnabar, and I don't know, I just thought that was fun. I think you had one that had a lot of colors on it, didn't you? You have one that has colors or
this
different chakras.
This deck is similar to traditional tarot.
Okay.
But it also has crystals on it as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And a meaning. And I also have, don't I have, that one's not crystal. But again, it's, whatever. Oh, yeah, this deck. This deck has a lot of crystals.
Ooh. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful. Yeah.
That's awesome. Crystals.
Yes. Very nice. So I do want to bring up something that I had never seen before in my time, and maybe I've just haven't been around to see it, but the Kipper cards and the Lenormand cards, they're fortune-telling cards, right? And they also are used for, hello, Kevin, welcome.
Hi.
Welcome to everybody, by the way. I'm not ignoring anybody over here. When I found them, I saw that they were more traditional fortune-telling cards, and a lot of them have symbols like main man, main woman, wealthy woman, this and that. Have you used those too?
Yep. So I have those kind of decks, right?
Mm-hmm. Is there something that makes you want, do you feel like your cards say, please use me today, right now?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I have always had, and maybe, I don't know if I should admit this or not, but I can always be drawn to something if it feels right or if it feels lucky, like a slot machine, sometimes a slot machine.
Right. Good.
Right.
My brother did too. Yeah.
Or with the cards, like if I'm reading on a subject, I'll look at all the cards and one of them just says me, right? It doesn't, I don't hear me, but I feel there's like an energy feel towards the cards. And that's
cool.
Yeah.
Wow. That's how a lot of people feel about when they hold rocks or when they hold gemstones. They feel the energy. Does that happen to you as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I've always had I think I just have all my senses have always been open since a kid. And I can, I can run my hand over things sometimes or over a card and feel its energy.
Wow. That's awesome. I've known other people that feel that do that as well, can feel that. So let me tell you a little story that happened to me just 2 days ago, I guess it was. 3 years ago, we were in Hawaii, and it was a big Bitcoin thing going on, and all those Ethereum or Ethereum, I don't know. So we invested like $200 or something just for fun. We were playing around with it. And then it bottomed out. There was nothing. So, but Keith, for that Christmas, he bought me this fake Bitcoin. It says a B on it, and it's silver. It's beautiful. So today he found out he's run out of unemployment completely because Congress hasn't gotten around to adding that back in yet. And we're just sitting here thinking about what the heck are we going to do, because he can't go back to work. And so we found out our Bitcoin had grown exponentially. And I had found that coin stashed away somewhere. I hadn't seen it for 3 years. It wasn't real. It's just a representation of it. Yeah. But I happened to find it. And I thought, I love getting messages like that. So we'll be okay, I think, for a month or so anyway. But, you never know. Listen to the messages, right?
That's right. Yeah. And, messages good and bad.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
They can all put you on your path, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So did you just recently start using those Kipper and Lenormand cards, or have they always been part of your?
I just started. I love the imagery.
Yeah. Yep. Right? I do too. I like the fin de Cecile, the end of the century ones, the best. I find them to be the pretty. Yeah. Yes.
These ones.
Yes. Yeah. They speak to me. I like that time period though.
I think these are the Gypsy deck. I don't use too often because they're so small I can't see them.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's great. So that's from the Gypsy Oracle deck.
Oh, sorry.
I'm drawn to the picture. So I know with Kipper and Lenormand deck. Oh, this is the old style Lenormand.
Oh, that's a nice one too.
Yeah, it's a nice one too. I didn't open the book to them. I just look at the image. I don't, I don't have a certain way of laying out.
Yeah. No, does the word ever mean anything, or the word doesn't really mean? It does. Okay.
I prefer not to have words on the card, but it depends on the reading. So it's okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow. And then, obviously some of the cards that you had, like when Joe Biden popped out and, when Bill Barr, that one, over and over again, and hopefully they'll be assigned to somebody else.
Yes.
No.
and that's the thing, when you start reading, if you read on a certain subject a lot, you'll start to see that when you read on that subject, certain cards mean a certain thing. And Joe Biden has shown up two ways now. There was the way before, and now there's the one that he shows up now. He's on the throne. So.
Oh, I haven't seen that yet. Okay, I'll have to go back and look. Wow.
So you'll just start. So that's the thing, is just be open-minded. Things can change. Meanings can shift in the cards. Again, not set in stone. Go with the flow. Mm-hmm. And just don't worry about rules.
Right. No, and all our life, this is what I tell you when I teach my students. They like to have hard and fast rules to write papers and do things, and I tell them sometimes it's just good to just let it go. And but with it, we aren't taught that. We aren't taught that in school, and so they get nervous.
So there's Joe Biden. So that was how he
was looking.
He was looking. And then this is the new Joe Biden.
Yes. And he's holding that coin still. Yeah.
So now, like when I read on him, if either one shows up, that's fine, but they'll probably more start to turn into this one.
Yeah. Cool. Wonderful.
And if you like rules, if you like to have rules, then you have rules.
Well, there's tons of books out there if you really feel like you need them. Yeah. But I would say sitting with them and making your own meaning out of them certainly is worthwhile, especially if you're intimidated. I think I got intimidated by it. So when someone would say, "Can you read for me?" I'd be like, "Well, hell no, because I need the book to read." I didn't want to do that.
Well, and the other thing is, like, that's a lot of pressure for me to read the book and then remember everything.
Right.
Make sure I get it right. But then what happens if I have my own message come through when I'm reading that card? Then it's, So no book for me.
I'd rather hear what it is you're feeling from it. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So here's my next question. Do you have any, or what kind of rituals do you have that either clean your cards or take, work to so that they can be cleansed, I guess is the word.
So in general, you can use a full moon.
Right.
That's like a monthly cleanse. And I put my cards and my crystals on my table. I open the screen so that the moonlight can shine in.
Okay.
It's a nice way to clean your stuff.
Yeah.
Before I start a reading, I say some words, for white light protection,
White light.
safety. Yeah. And I have a Tibetan singing bowl.
Wonderful.
Boom. Okay. So I do that one first.
Clear the sky. Yeah.
And that's just my ritual because that sound just sort of,
brings you in.
With me.
Yep.
And then I light a candle as well. I like to have a candle going, and I have incense. I like to use incense, sage incense, to clean the room sometimes, or the energy, or the cards. Sometimes I'll run it around the cards.
Yep. Especially if you do that sometimes with smoke or incense. Have you ever done any smudging?
I have some, but I haven't done it.
Okay, that's fine. No, the reason I ask is it's like one of the things that I love, and I even ended up with a beautiful, you put your smudge in a smudge bowl and then smudge things with your, and it's not an eagle feather, but it's nice enough, I guess. Yeah. But no, that's fabulous.
Yeah. So now when I go and I say my thing before I start, wow, I am like right there pretty quickly now, right? Like,
good. Yes, you are. I can see that. Yeah,
right in my zone. Yeah. And then when I'm done, I ring my bell. This cute little bell. It's kind of got all the chakra colors.
It's cute.
I say thank you and I ring my bell.
And then you're checked out of that.
And then I'm done. So that's when I'm done. Yeah, reading. And when you ring a bell, that changes the energy. It clears the energy of a room.
Sure.
So you can do that in your own house. If you have somebody arguing, or you just feel like there's yucky energy in the home or the office, just ring a bell.
Yep. Ring a bell.
Or
say time out, right?
Yeah. It just it'll change the frequency of the room.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So all those things really are wonderful things to remind ourselves of. That's fabulous.
Yeah.
That's great. Let's see what else. Oh, I wanted to tell you, when I was doing some searching, because I have a lot of stones, I also found a thing called, I know you know what selenite is. It's a stone, and it's for a lot of discharge of bad energy, I guess is the best word. They made bowls now, selenite bowls. And, they recommend you put your stones in them. And I'm thinking to myself, you could also put your cards in them, because they're that energy dissipation of the bad energy or whatever in there too.
Scott Allen has a giant Tibetan bowl, like a really big, and he will put his cards in it and bang the bowl.
Oh, and there you go.
Fantastic. I would do that too if I had a big enough
bowl. If you
bowl.
had one. Yeah.
Really, Kevin, he did that when we were behind the scenes one night. It was like he'd bang, and I'm like, that's awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
So Kevin says he loves to charge his cards and crystals in the full moon, and also smudges his cards, especially after political readings. And I love that. We've got to get all that bad energy out, Kevin. That's a great idea. That's great. Somebody else said that Cash Peters had something on about Bitcoin. So yeah, It's funny how it was so big a couple of years ago, and then it's been around, but it dissipated so much. It's interesting that it's came back and it was doing so well again. Do you remember? Did you ever see the Facebook movie with the twins? I can't think of their name. Yeah. They made all their money in Bitcoin. They bought Bitcoin and then they sold, and they made like millions and millions of dollars. So
I think the world banking system is going to change. I think a lot of people have seen that.
Yeah.
I mean, money's just a concept anyways. So
yes.
Whether it's paper or Bitcoin or apples,
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. Kevin says he likes to get the Trump energy off his cards. I just need to get the Trump energy off everything. I understand. So if you would like to, I have some questions. Maybe we could ask your cards, and maybe some of our people that are here might have a question for you, if you wouldn't mind. doing that?
Absolutely.
All right. I had asked Andrea in the beginning if she doesn't know who Alexander Vindman is, but Alexander Vindman was the serviceman. He was a colonel, lieutenant colonel in the service, and he worked in the White House and testified against Donald Trump during the impeachment trial. And I said, look, can we find out anything about maybe will Joe Biden give him something, or, you know, what's in store for Alexander Vindman, I guess.
Okay.
So, all right.
So this, the Golden Universal Tarot deck.
Okay.
I'm really drawn to this one for outcomes.
Okay.
I like to use this one or my own deck that I made because it just really speaks to me. So
Sure.
I mostly will go to this deck. Okay.
All right. I think it's beautiful. I've seen the pictures and they're lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Alexander Vindman.
Yeah. Vindman. Yep.
Vindman.
Yeah.
Alexander. So that's the other thing. So I close my eyes. I ask the question.
Okay.
And I wait till the cards tell me it's time. Okay. And it could take 10 minutes or it could take 3 seconds.
All right. We got some time.
Alexander Vindman. He testified against Donald Trump. I also close my eyes when I do it. I can concentrate better.
Sure.
Yeah. Just telling people how I read. And you don't have to close your eyes, but I often do.
Well, everybody's got a different ritual. So.
That's right. Testify against Donald Trump. What is his outcome? Alexander, what is your outcome?
Well, hi, Pammy. I hope your husband had a good birthday.
Oh, my birthday.
Yeah.
So as I was pulling these cards, I started to laugh. And the reason you'll see me start to laugh or go, oh no, or whatever when I read is because it's like the whole story's right there. And I can,
wow.
Right? And it's like, oh, this is happening. This is happening.
Uh-huh.
So this Alexander was a very, very strong man or influence in the White House.
Yep.
But this card was upside down because he turned on them.
Ah, yes.
And that's the other thing. Sometimes people don't read cards upside down, but I do.
Right. Yep. Yep.
Just because I do.
Right.
So what happened is he gave evidence.
He did. Yeah.
In the current position, in the now.
Yeah.
I think there's more to come. I think
more evidence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What role did he have?
He was the, I want to say, well, he was like he worked with the ambassador to Ukraine. And so he was a foreign serviceman. Maybe he could speak. I don't know if he could even speak Ukrainian, but he was on all those calls. So he heard the quid pro quo being said to the, yeah.
I can tell you there's more information coming out. The next again is the same thing. He has an offer. He has more to offer.
Okay.
This guy has a lot of the goods. The underwriting mood or motive or whatever, he is after. This is one of my trump cards.
Oh,
he is still after him.
Yes, he is. I believe he's also suing him or suing, because he got fired.
I was going to say this has something to do with money. So, because look how he's how he's holding on to all that money. This Alexander has enough information he's going to keep giving because he is obviously very angry. And the outcome, the fool's journey. He's no fool,
right?
But he is turning his back on 45 and going his own way. And
well, when he testified, he knew he was taking a chance, but he said right matters. And this is, this is why I'm doing this. And I think it was within 2 weeks he was walked out of there. Ooh.
This was at the base of the deck. So this to me is a very righteous, honorable man.
I believe he is.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I know. That's pretty strong, huh? That's amazing.
For entertainment purposes
Yes,
only?
for entertainment purposes only. Yes. Uh-huh. Yes, his parents and well, actually, I think he even came over from the Ukraine, and he became a U.S. citizen. I think his mother died, and his father was the one that raised him and his twin brother. So, yeah, interesting. But thank you.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a question? Oh, it's your whistleblower card, Kevin? Well, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what he was. He was a whistleblower. Anybody have a question at all?
For either of us.
Yes, for either of us. But
so I have a question for you.
Okay.
What made you launch your YouTube channel, and what is your intent right now and your purpose with it, and how are you feeling? Because I know you recently launched the channel.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you tell us a little, and your name's so wonderful, Heart and Soul Connected. I mean, what a wonderful channel name.
Thank you. Well, a couple of weeks ago when we had a personal reading with you, we felt very connected to your energies, and we really didn't know which direction we were going to be going into. And soon after we had that talk with you, and we told you how you saved us through this whole election hoorang many times, that we have always wanted to do something like this. And we just never, because I like a lot of different things and I don't specialize in just one, I didn't know how to go about doing it, but I'm loving every minute of it. I wish I had more time. It's finals week at college.
Okay.
I'm teaching a lot of classes. And so, I'm hoping over the Christmas holiday, I'll have a little bit more time, but I'll always make time. I know that you just recently got your full-time work, but you can't step away from something that you feel so passionate about. And so I
feel so rejuvenated and happy and joyous when I do my channel, and I get to chat with the viewers and read for people. Like, it really is soul fulfilling, and I'm so excited you started your channel, and you're going to do a book club. Why don't you tell people a little?
I am going to do it. Well, actually, I had posted that when Keith and I had a Zoom, I guess it was more of a Zoom post last week, I told everybody I wanted to start a book club where we could all meet on Zoom, and we could record it and upload it later, but so we could have a discussion about different books. And I had started with Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. And I asked people if they would read it this week, coming this week we have, and tomorrow we'd talk about it. And that if you just didn't have time, that I would still go on to Zoom tomorrow and post about it and talk about it. But I'd really love to have more books that we can talk about, more ideas, and sharing, and because I'm a literature humanities teacher, it's just something that resonates really well with me. So, I welcome anybody's ideas. I want more positive stuff. This first one's not real positive, but it also comes on the heels of this horrible year we've had, and how we can get through it, and how many people still are not taking this virus seriously. And what we've lost, I think we've lost about 6,000 people in the last 3 days or something like that. It's horrendous. And the taxing of our medical workers and stuff is just horrible. So what this book is about is his experiences in a concentration camp. And of course, we're not in a concentration camp, but we have some similar things that we could talk about and how to deal with those things. So, yeah. So
I think that's great. So to the viewers, Aley's doing her spiritual or soul books, right? Book club.
Yeah.
I think that's so wonderful. What a wonderful thing.
Well, that's great. Yeah. A lot of people like it, but we can't go anywhere. So we could do it on a Zoom meeting. I don't think I could put like 30 people on a live stream, but you never know. Maybe some point we could do something like that. Yeah. So, yeah. Let's see. Somebody wants to ask you, how do your cards get upside down when you're reading?
So when you shuffle the deck, when you first get the deck and you open it, all the cards will be one way, right? But when I shuffle, there's an echo happening.
Really?
Yeah. So when
I just shut off my put on my mute, and then it wouldn't.
Then we can't hear you. But anyways, so I shuffle. I don't just shuffle this way. I take the cards, I take them in half, right? And this way, they all go upside down or straight up. So that's how they end up upside down. And then when I turn them over, right, they'll be upside down or straight up.
They are.
Yep.
Yep. So Kevin was saying he was.
You don't have to, right? You don't have to. You can turn your straight all the time. It's totally up to you. Remember,
totally, everything is. Yep. No. So Kevin's saying he was thinking of having his own channel, but he doesn't really know what he'd do. And I want him to know, I want everybody to know that's here, that this community that we are building, I mean, I'm sure there's been a lot of people here a long time, but I believe that this is a building community, and this is the new way to build community. And we're here to help each other out. Yeah. And, you know, that's what Andrea did for myself and my husband. And she had us come on her channel and talk. And that's why I wanted her to come on mine and, you know, check out her channel. And also she does private readings as well. Mm-hmm. And both of us are not people that charge people a specific amount of money, because we feel that if you can donate, if you want to donate something, you can. But if you don't have the funds to donate something, then, you know, and you need a message, then you should be able to get it. Right. So, yeah. Yeah.
So, Kevin, I would just say start. This is what I tell people, just start. This is what I told myself. You take it or leave it. I was nervous about starting my channel. I didn't know what to call it and this and that. And I just sat down and I came up with the name. It makes sense to me. You know, it made sense to me. And I just thought, I'm going to start. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to start. I can fine tune it later. I can get proper lighting later. I can get a backdrop later. I can get new cards later. I can change the name later. You just start.
Yep.
So Kevin, just start it. Just put something up, you know, call it Kevin's Cards or whatever you want to do, right? Kevin's Cards. Yeah. And you just start it.
Just start it. And anyone else that has anything else that they feel that you don't want to stop your spiritual growth. You know, some people do not like to speak you know, and that's fine. That's fine. But you know, if you don't mind, or and remember, we're all learning. Look this is the first day that I've done StreamYard myself, and it took me about an hour, and now I'm okay. I think I'll get through it. But if I didn't have Andrea helping me, I wouldn't have even known where to start. So I think that's an important component as well. Yeah. So yeah.
And you know what? You don't have to put, like when I started, I didn't even have my face. It was just my hands and the table and the words. You know, very humble, and just that's all you have to do. And then eventually you keep growing and you finesse it.
That's right. Pammy says that she's seen you grow and change daily by being just Andrea at your, and you are. You're very authentic, which is a wonderful thing. Yeah.
Authentic. You know, people can sniff fake and or something that's too showy.
Yeah.
Not to say I'm not a goof sometimes, but
well, no, goofy is fine.
Yeah. But you know, just be yourself. You want to start your channel, be you first.
Mm-hmm. Right. Right.
Yes,
I know. That's great.
Bad Boy Rob, I did a reading for him, and he wants to start his YouTube channel, and I keep pushing him to do it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. Well, yes, Bad Boy Rob, you need to do it too. Good for you. Yeah. I encourage anybody. And if that's just not your cup of tea, you know, maybe you come to a book club, or maybe you get, you know, you just check our videos out every once in a while. You know, we love having you here. It's great. I didn't realize how much fun it could be.
Isn't it? It's wonderful, isn't it? It really feels good. And Renee, see Renee in the chat here. So Renee contacted me, and she had this great idea to help the viewers and the readers or whatever create this community where we can connect. Because, you know, right now they're just chatting in the YouTube streams. There's not really other venues we could use. So Renee has started a Instagram channel. Tarot _love_community. So that's on
wonderful.
Instagram. And you can check it out. I posted the thing a couple times on my channel, but it's just another avenue, right? It's just another,
yes, it is.
Another vehicle. So, they can post schedules, shows coming up, or little segments, or it can be endless. And I see, a website and Facebook. I see events happening, where we all would congregate, like, Las Vegas or something, and have a convention, and you get to meet the readers and seminars and stuff. I think it's going to be great.
It is. It's wonderful. So Keith was talking with his granddaughter the other day, and he was telling her how I'm not on Facebook anymore. I got sick of it, and so I just deleted it. I have Instagram, and I have YouTube now. And he's saying, I don't know how we're going to be communicating with people once we get off Facebook. This just, and he's talking, and I look at him and I say, don't you remember we have a YouTube channel? It's like, duh. Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. So I like this though. I really do. And I know there are people that troll places, unfortunately that will always be the case, but I like to think that we have a nice uplifting community and a good collaboration. So thank you for joining, and thank you for all of you for coming. Does anybody else have anything to ask Andrea or myself? We're here for you for a few more minutes anyway. Anybody want
the chat's live, it's popping in the chat, and you and I are having fun. Like, doesn't it just feel good, everybody? Like, it's just such a great community.
It does.
It really is.
It's a flow.
Yeah.
It's a good flow. Yeah.
So that's the theme of this discussion, is the flow.
Correct.
Like, riffing. You call it riffing.
Riffing with Andrea about intuitive tarot. Yeah. That's so right.
Riffing is just when you go back and forth, and there's no bad ideas, right? You just
talk. Right. Or the conversation moves in a circuitous way. Yeah.
It's not controlling the outcome. It's just exploring. And I love it. So if you want to start something, whether it's a YouTube channel or an Instagram page, or you want to write a book, or you want to start jogging for marathons, I mean, my gosh, just try.
Yeah.
Don't get in your own way. Yeah.
Yeah. I think collaboration makes a lot of sense. And if you are having a hard time figuring out how to get started, or you want to, email one of us to have us help you along, or bring you on to be interviewed, or whatever you need, and Andrea's been here longer than I have, but she's got some other folks that are just as nice and and I know you know them if you follow her. So, there's lots of people out there that are here to help. And
yes, why aren't we sharing and mentoring each other, right?
Absolutely.
That's what I feel like this community is, and lead the way for the rest, right? If we're enlightened and we can help move everyone forward, how wonderful.
Right. That's great. Well, thank you. And thank everybody for coming. Yes, I do need, so Renee says we need more readers to participate, schedules, desks, guest topics, anything. Yeah, we're here for any of them. If anybody wants to be interviewed, let me know. I've got a nice lady that I've known for a long time. She does healing stories, and she's going to come and talk. And I have another great lady who actually was at Osho's ashram in India way back in the day. And she's a very dear friend of mine, and she's a lady that's in her late 80s. And she's going to come and talk. And I've got a few other people lined up that I'm interested in talking with. So I'm here to help. I may not be Katie Couric, but we can get through it.
You're wonderful. You're wonderful. And I do, I have other guests coming on my show. Channel, because I just think the more we learn and we share, because I don't know everything, and I'm just
either.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it's so great. So thank you so much, Aley. I'm so
thank you, Andrea.
And
thank you to everybody who came by to say hello, and we appreciate your posts and your kindness and your appreciation. Good luck to you. Have a good one. Namaste.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.
Bye.